And welcome into To Your Health. You know, it was about 2 years ago that the American Psychiatric Association designated problem gambling as a major problem, and it became a medical problem, not just a social problem. Today we're very fortunate to have with us Matthew Creighton. And Matthew, you are a first-hand example of a person that was caught by gambling, and it really changed your career. You were a Marine, a state trooper,
yes,
and
sir.
then you actually spent a little time behind bars with it, didn't
Yes,
you?
sir. Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about the background, Matthew.
Well, you know, it started out just like you said, Jack, you know, in the Marine Corps. I joined the Marine Corps right out of high school and did a little time there. And after that, I was hired by the state and worked as a state trooper and did really good for 18 years. In fact, I was a state trooper lieutenant.
Wow.
And I let my guard down and just decided to kind of check out gambling, kind of looking into it. And I became addicted to gambling and started doing what most people do when they get addicted to something. I started doing crazy stuff like writing bad checks, kiting bad checks, basically stealing. And at the time I was a veteran state trooper. And not only did I wind up getting charged and, you know, but I had to wind up in prison. In fact, I was in and out of prison 3 times. It wasn't easy trying to break that addiction, and I still have to work every day to stay on top of it. But I'm so grateful for, you know, for what you're doing,
Right.
And you know, I could just go on and on about it, man. You know.
Well, the biggest thing is that you realized the fact at one point that you did need help.
Yes, sir.
And then you decided that help is available. That's the main thing.
That's right. That's exactly right. And had I not gotten some help, I probably would be still going in and out of prison, you know, like I did for some
But not
time.
only did you get yourself cured from the disease, but you're also now going out around the country and you are talking to high school groups. Just recently, this young man was invited to speak to the University of Alabama's football team.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Jack.
Go ahead. Well, it's because of the fact that we don't realize the fact that at the college level, not just athletes, but college level, there's a lot of gambling that's going on. They bet on sports. They bet on a lot of different things. They actually have kids in college that are bookies.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I was just really thrilled that Coach Saban was willing to let me come in and share my story with his football team, and he was very impressed. And in fact, I'm more than likely going to be talking to several other D1 schools, Georgia, hopefully LSU, Auburn, Tennessee, and several of them. But there's a bunch of high schools across the state that are waiting for me to come in, and it's a big problem, you know, and that's why I start with the middle schools.
Well, and a very interesting thing, as Matthew was telling me, the fraternity of police officers, even though you are not really, you know, you had to resign, you were basically fired from being a state trooper because of the problem, they rally behind you even now.
Yes,
and
sir.
they realize what happened, and they use you to reach out to other people, don't they?
Yes, sir. The state troopers are so supportive. In fact, I spoke to a group of them in Mobile not long ago, and another group down in Enterprise. I've got the Mobile Police Department coming up, the Birmingham Police Department, Jefferson County Sheriff Department, but law enforcement is just really behind me because, I mean, they're my friends, and they're doing a lot to really help open doors for me to get into places, and I'm just grateful for all the support that I get from them.
Okay, you've written a book.
Yes, sir.
Let's hold it up for the camera here, and this is a book, and what's it titled?
Yes, sir. I titled this book "Don't Get Sidetracked." I got that. My last sentence was 20 years in state prison, and before I made parole on that 20-year sentence, I started writing this book in prison. And when I got out of prison, I was able to finish it up, and And now when I go into the middle schools, high schools, colleges, churches, I try to leave this book with as many of those students as possible.
Right. So in order to get you to come and speak to an organization, how would they get a hold of you?
They can go to my website. It's MatthewCreighton.com.
Okay, and we'll have that on the screen so you can.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And they can just send me an email or call the
Okay.
number.
And then
that's
you'll
on
get
there.
in touch with them and make it happen.
Yes, sir. I sure will.
Well, you're doing a wonderful thing. You've taken something that would be totally a negative and you're making a positive in your life, but more importantly, you're making a positive in the lives of a lot of people out there that could go down that wrong track.
Yes, sir.
Good. Thank you so much, Matthew, for all that you do, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Jay.
And we'll be right back.